All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Erin Fugate, and first I'm going to recommend that you press the speaker view up on the right-hand corner. So whoever the speaker is, you can see at the top, and you can actually pin their face if you want to make sure it's always the speaker. That'll really help, especially as we get into our DIY. So you are joining us for Oil Talks. This is an incredible opportunity that we have been offering our doTERRA community since we started dealing with this COVID virus. We found ourselves in our homes. Many of us under quarantine, we can't go out and about unless it's for essential business. And we really started to wonder, do all of our wonderful doTERRA family who has these essential oils in their home, do they know how to use them, really use them, right? Because there's a difference between putting a few drops in a diffuser every day and maybe putting some balance on your wrists and being a true oiler that has 20 different touch points throughout the day of how they use the oils and the supplements, and then the ability to know what to do in an emergency. So if you haven't joined us in the last few calls, we have given you protocols. Dr. Josie has told you what to do if you're fighting it, if you're in it, if you're scared you're going to get it, if you're recovering from it. We've talked about emotional health. We've even talked about our pets. We've covered a lot of subjects. And this week, we are going to talk about hydrotherapy. We have a very special guest, Dr. Louise Rose from Portland, Oregon. She's a naturopathic physician, and she is going to show us how to make magic warming socks and what hydrotherapy is and how to do it with your oils and how it might help. I want to remind you that if you don't have to write everything down, unless that's how you learn. That's actually how I learned, but just know we compile the notes for you and we put them on our website within 24 hours of this call. So Dr. Louise Rose has a PowerPoint, which means it'll be up on our website for you. The website address is hellovisionary.life or essentialwellness.life. So just know it will all be there. You can ask your questions in the chat, and many of our essential oil educators will be answering them through the chat live. We'll also have time for Q&A after the presentation, so stick around for that. And at the very end, we're going to tell you something really exciting that's happening next week with doTERRA, so make sure you hang about. If you are brand new to essential oils and you don't yet have these amazing products in your life, connect with the person who invited you to this call, because you should not buy these oils retail. Please don't buy these oils retail. Don't go to the grocery store and try to buy oils because they're not going to be the same quality as doTERRA. And don't try to buy doTERRA at retail price. You can get wholesale price, and it's really easy, and there's tons of perks. So we want you to know about that. In fact, put it on your calendar for this Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Dr. Josie will be doing Essential Oils Made Simple over Zoom, which is our introductory class. So if you are just brand new to doTERRA, you want to be at that class, and those links are all up on our website. So without further ado, you're in for a treat because Dr. Josie herself is doing our grounding exercise today. Take it away, Dr. Josie.
Thanks, Erin. Well, I wanted to bring a cleansing and releasing prayer that, because it's really something that Dr. Louise, Dr. Mika, and I have found incredible benefit and we work with often. And so seeing that Dr. Louise is going to show you into her whole world of hydrotherapy and all that you can do with that, I thought I'd give you guys, everyone on here, a little insight into what we do. We get together often, the three of us. We talk about all things oils, medicine, the business, all things spiritual, mental, emotional, and we are in Dr. Louise's sauna. She has her own sauna. It's wonderful. So that's where we do a lot of our meetings. And we work with this clearing prayer. And so I'd like everyone to get any oil you have, but if you have a floral and if you have rose, go for rose first. If you don't have rose, any floral. If you don't have a floral, a citrus. And let's just put it on, I think it's the CV17 is what it's called. So I'm just going to do a little bit of oil on my middle finger here. And that's that place right between your nipples on your chest. So go down on your sternum in the center line, and right there, right in the middle. You can just kind of rub it around that whole area, just right on our heart center. Yeah, feels good already. All right. And then I'm working from, this is Boyd Truman's mother. Her name is Carol Truman, and this is the book. It's called Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die. There's also an app by the same name. The app's wonderful. And the book. It's on page 95 of the book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this for everyone. I'd like everyone to just sit in their chair, close their eyes, smell the oil on their hands, taking a deep inhalation, and just let yourself receive and relax into the prayer. At a point, I will ask you to repeat with me some of the saying, and that's it. And let's go through this. So I thought what you do is you pick a feeling, emotion or feeling that you want to work with and clear. And so I thought something that's pretty going around right now and very common is fear and anxiety. So let's, as the group together, we're going to, with this cleansing prayer, energetically from our all of our bodies, clear fear and anxiety. All right. In the name of the divine, spirit, superconscious, subconscious, conscious, higher self, heart, mind, will, nervous system, brain, original intelligence, RNA, DNA, and every genetic anomaly out of alignment with my pattern of perfection. Please locate the origin of my conscious and subconscious destructive cellular memories, which cause the incorrect perceptions that created the feelings of fear and anxiety. Please take each and every level, layer, area, and aspect of my being to these origins. Analyze and resolve them perfectly with God's truth. Come forward through all generations of time and eternity, healing every event and its appendages based on the origins. Please do it according to the Creator's will until I'm at the present, filled with light and truth, the divine's eminence, peace and love, benevolence, forgiveness of myself for my imperfect perceptions, having compassion for every person, place, circumstance, and event which contributed to any of these destructive cellular memories, feelings, thoughts, or beliefs. With total forgiveness and unconditional love, I ask that my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual memory of perfection resonate throughout my being. So everyone can repeat with me. I choose being peaceful and in trust. I feel peaceful and in trust. I am peaceful and in trust. It's done, it is healed, it is accomplished now. Thank you all for coming to my aid and working together to help me rid my being of stress and attain the full measure of my creation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you and praise the divine for whom all blessings flow. Now, all facets of my being, please put this script into automatic so that it repeats itself throughout the day and every cell and every fiber of my being, every half hour of every day for the next 180 days, or for however long that is best for me, thereby restoring perfectly healthy frequencies throughout my being and returning me to my original purpose, power, and magnificence. It is done. So we love doing that prayer and clearing a lot before we get to work on ourselves and before we commune together. It's wonderful. We see a lot of shifts. And in her book or the app, there's a list of emotions and feelings. and then the states that you can shift and work with if you need help in that. So thank you, everyone, for wow, I feel the quiet. There was a lot that cleared. So now I would like to get us ready for Dr. Louise Rose, and I would like to introduce her. She is a dear friend and colleague of mine. She's a naturopathic physician, a former chef, and a neuroplastician. What that means is that she helps people get out of their stuck neural grooves and stimulates new brain connections. She believes in the profound healing power of water and also of plants and light. And so she's going to be talking to you today, particularly about water and how it works with hydrotherapy. She works with patients at her clinic, Rose Cabinet Medicine in Portland, Oregon, and she helps people to reconnect with their inner vitality, increasing their energy, and helping them to become much more resilient emotionally. Let's see. And she definitely works with essential oils. She works with the potent, pure plant medicine, and she loves educating the public about this and bringing this into their daily practices. So is she here? So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Louise Rose.
Thank you, Josie. That was a beautiful clearing, and thank you for that introduction. I'm so pleased to be here. It's such an honor to have an audience of people who are just ready to learn and engage in natural medicine. It's so empowering and exciting for me. So let's see, I have a little presentation I want to share with you.
Do you have the share option there, Louise?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you. Can you see that? So the topic for today came about because a few weeks ago, Josie was talking about what do you do if you're really in it? What do you do if you really get sick? How do you handle this? And one of the things that came up was that in naturopathic medicine, we believe that the fever is one of the body's natural ways of fighting infection itself. The body temperature rises, makes it more inhospitable to viruses and microorganisms, and that's one of our own immune system's really powerful defense mechanisms. And that's really a foreign concept to a lot of people who are more steeped in modern medicine, to just let a fever run its course. And so there were a lot of questions about, well, how high can the fever go and what do I do about it? And one of the ways that we manage a fever is through hydrotherapy. So I'm going to not really cover the fevers very much, but I'm going to share with you a little bit about hydrotherapy. So as you can imagine, hydrotherapy has to do with water, but this person in this picture is also benefiting from something called heliotherapy, which is sunbathing. And the old school naturopaths really were steeped in the basics, like fresh air, sunlight, walking barefoot on the ground in the morning in the dew, and using applications of hot and cold water for therapeutic effect. I just love this quote. Isak Dinesen wrote out of Africa, among other things, "The cure for anything is salt water. Tears, sweat, and the sea." So water is a very powerful natural substance. It's the universal solvent. And one of the reasons it's so powerful therapeutically is because of its capacity to hold heat and all the different phases, like from ice to cold water to hot water to boiling water and steam. There's a lot of energy potential in there. So I got really interested in hydrotherapy when I was at naturopathic medical school, mostly because my favorite thing to do is jump in a river, jump in cold water on a hot sunny day. And then I learned that, oh, we can be actually very, it's actually scientific, and there's lots of reasons that we do this, and it's very healthy for us. So a few summers ago, my husband and I took a trip to Europe, which is where the origins of hydrotherapy came from, the roots of hydrotherapy professionally. And we visited several European spas, and you probably are familiar with at least the idea of European spa culture. It is still quite alive and well in Europe. In fact, there are many countries where the government will pay for its citizens to go have a week or two in a spa hotel where they're receiving 2 or 3 or maybe more spa treatments every day. And then taking the waters. And taking the waters refers to not just soaking in water, in mineral water, but actually drinking it. So some of these spa towns have different springs with bubbling hot mineral water, and you walk around and you sip the mineral water, and it's very cleansing. So the origins of hydrotherapy as a professional medical treatments originated in Europe, and then some of the doctors trained there and brought it to the United States in the early 1800s. And those things really grew to become the profession of naturopathic medicine. So it's very much a part of the way naturopaths are trained traditionally. However, in our modern society, a lot of naturopaths find that hydrotherapy is, not as fast. It's not they're more modern. They want to, prescribe things and get people feeling better quickly. But I'm very passionate about hydrotherapy as one of the foundational treatments that can really provide foundation of health. And this is sort of the philosophy that Dr. Josie and some of the other doctors in our community talk about essential oils this way too. So remember the small, frequent daily doses idea? So when we use natural medicine, hydrotherapy, plants, essential oils, it's not like you wait until you get really sick and then you drink a whole bottle of essential oil. Same thing with hydrotherapy. You're going to have the best results if you find ways to just incorporate it into your daily routine. So one of the things that I love about naturopathic medicine is the idea that we're supporting our body's healthy, normal physiology to happen easier. The reason I chose this picture is this was from the trip that Ned and I took to Europe, and we went to, this was the Adriatic Sea right in Croatia, and very close to the ocean is a peat bog. So peat bog is where organic material decays over thousands of years, and it becomes this really rich, dark, black mud, and it's used therapeutically. You can rub it on your skin, and it's very good for rheumatism, aches and pains. It's really good for skin problems, and it's overall detoxifying. So people come from all over to this region in Croatia to visit there's a salt flat nearby, and then this peat bog, which is open to the public. And then right next to the peat bog is the ocean. So you go and you walk out in the peat bog and you rub this mud all over yourself, and then you go lie in the sun and let it bake you, and then you jump in the cold salt water. And this woman was arriving just as we were leaving, and I snapped this picture of her. She's a very old, very rheumatic older woman, and she, you can see she's dressed in her formal outfit to go. She's going to go do her peat bath and her sun therapy, her heliotherapy, and her hydrotherapy. And I just love that. It was so inspiring. So hydrotherapy basically refers to using hot and cold water in a specific therapeutic way. And the point of it is to move the blood and the lymph. So, we know a lot of Chinese medicine practitioners talk about moving qi and blood. In all healing traditions, we know that when things are stagnant and they're stuck, that's when disease starts. So anytime we can move the blood and the lymph, what we're doing is it's out with the old and in with the new, basically. We're flushing out metabolic waste from our cells and increasing the inflow of new nutrients from our red blood cells, oxygen, just anything that the body needs to heal is coming through the blood. So it takes away the waste and brings new fresh blood in. So that's the basic idea. And we know that very reliably, when we are heated with hot water, our blood vessels dilate and the little capillaries go to the surface of our skin because we're hot and we're trying to throw off heat. Our body's main job is to create homeostasis, right? It wants balance. So if you heat up the body with a hot bath or a sauna, you are going to increase your blood vessels. They're going to dilate. And then when you put yourself in a cold water situation, the blood vessels constrict. So that's a very simple idea. And then when we work with hydrotherapy, we're doing that in a specific timing. And if you do a long hot or short hot or long cold or short cold, that's where you get different kinds of reactions. So from a very basic standpoint, I recommend for everybody, just start when you take a shower, just end your shower with a cold rinse. And sometimes people say, oh, well, I have really bad circulation. I could never do that because it would chill me and I would be cold the rest of the day. And I challenge you on that, because what actually happens when we end our shower with cold is that when we get out, we're more invigorated, and our blood vessels, what happens with a short cold application, the blood vessels constrict and then they immediately bounce back. So you're actually increasing your circulation by doing that. And if you are somebody that tends to be cold all the time, once you start doing this, you might find that you can change your circulation and your constitution. So sometimes people ask, well, how long and how cold? Don't get too hung up on that. I say 30 seconds is a great thing to shoot for, 30 seconds of cold. And how cold? You want to work up to as cold as you can tolerate. So in the beginning, if you're a little bit afraid of standing in cold water, just do it cool. That's still therapeutic. You're having a contrast between the hot and the cool. Start with the cool. You know how when you grow tomato plants, and they're little baby tomato plants in the spring, and you want to transplant them outside where they can grow big, but in the spring it's not that, it gets cold at night and you don't want to, it's too early to transplant them, but you know how you kind of take the little baby tomatoes outside during the day and then you bring them in at night. What you're doing is you're hardening the tomatoes up so that they can be ready for the weather. And so this is one of the ways that you are also sort of preparing your body to be able to withstand more contrast hydrotherapy just by doing your shower. You can also do, take your hot shower, do 30 seconds of cold, and then back to hot for 3 minutes and back to cold. You could do like several alternating. You can have the cold aiming at your kidney area and your lower rib cage, and that will flush the blood through your kidneys and your adrenal glands and help with that support. So there is research that I couldn't put my hands on today, but I remember learning about it when I was in school, that just ending your shower with cold decreases your risk for getting your basic common cold in the winter. And it also, if you do get a cold, it decreases the duration of it. So basically what it's doing is it's increasing your resilience, your immune resilience. So why not, right? That's a really great, easy place to start. All right, well, steam inhalation was something that Stacia went over last week, and that is also a really wonderful tool to get the mucous membranes of our respiratory system cleaned and moistened and carry some essential oils deep into our lungs where they can be helpful. I'm not going to go over that again. And I didn't list this here, but you could also do a neti pot to wash out your nasal passages. That might be something, if you have allergies and you tend to be really clogged up, that can help clear out your nasal passages and keep your mucous membranes moist. We're going to go over castor oil packs, and sometimes people say, well, that's not hot and cold water. Why is that considered hydrotherapy? And I don't know the answer to that. I mean, we also talk about dry skin brushing as hydrotherapy too. I think it's because the point of castor oil packs is to move blood and lymph, and that's what hydrotherapy is doing also. We're going to talk about warming socks treatment and warming t-shirt treatment. And then some things here on the bottom, sauna, bath, all these are considered hydrotherapy. I do a lot of constitutional hydrotherapy in my office. That's probably something that is not as easy to do at home, so I'm not going to teach it to you today, but all these are different ways that we are accustomed to using hydrotherapy. All right, so if you were on the call earlier, you might have heard Aisha was just talking about castor oil packs being wonderful for balancing our hormones. And that is one of the great reasons to do castor oil packs. But quite honestly, I recommend castor oil packs for everybody. They're so supportive and helpful in so many ways. What's going on, so castor oil is from the castor bean. It's rather viscous, and if you take it internally, it is a cathartic laxative. You might have heard about it like that. Take your castor oil if you're constipated. Well, the reason is because the castor bean itself is a tiny bit toxic. And so when we use it topically, what it does is that tiny bit of toxin acts as a little bit of an irritant. So your skin doesn't feel irritated. It's actually very soothing. But your body perceives that little tiny irritant and then sends the blood and lymph to that area. So this is, you could put castor oil, like if you had a sore shoulder, you could put castor oil on your shoulder and it would do the same thing. It would move the blood and lymph, act as an anti-inflammatory. But with a castor oil pack, what we're doing is we're rubbing it on the belly. And so it's covering from the rib cage to your pubic bone. And then you're going to put a flannel cloth down and a heat pack, hot water bottle or heating pad. And then you're going to relax for, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And it has so many benefits. Let me see if I can talk about them. So it helps with blood flow through that area. Think about all the organs that are in that area. Our liver. This is one of the main reasons why it's supportive for hormone health and detoxification. It increases the liver flow. And have you ever heard of somebody having a sluggish liver or a sluggish gallbladder? Castor oil packs are wonderful for just getting things moving. We also know that castor oil packs are very anti-inflammatory to any sort of intestinal bowel issues, irritable bowel, or any sort of inflammation in the gut. So many of us these days have leaky gut or inflammation in the gut from food sensitivities. Castor oil packs are wonderful for that. And then if you don't know already, so much of our immune system, most of our immune system is in our gut, right outside of our intestinal walls. And the reason for that is because when we eat, it's the outside world coming inside to us. So our digestive tract is one of the places where our immune system has to be on alert for any sort of pathogen that's coming in from what we eat. And so we have these little patches of immune cells all the way through the gut. So when we do castor oil packs, we are increasing our detoxification. We are increasing our ability to eliminate waste products, and we're supporting our immune system by supporting those lymph patches in our gut. Does that make sense? So how often would you want to do a castor oil pack? Well, just like I talked about earlier, if you do a castor oil pack once, it's probably not going to change your life. This is the kind of thing that you want it to become part of your daily routine. I recommend, honestly, people do it every day. It's that supportive. However, it's kind of messy and kind of sticky, and sometimes it stains your clothes and you don't want to do it all the time. So, be flexible with yourself. Maybe do it for the 2 weeks before your period, or if you're having digestive issues, do it every day until that calms down, and then maybe 3 times a week after that. Other ways that people have found to incorporate castor oil packs into a routine without it being a big deal to get out all the sticky castor oil and lie down on the couch for 40 minutes. You can put castor oil on your belly and go take a bath, go take a hot bath. The oil will not dissolve in the water that easily, and it'll stay on your belly, and the heat from the water will help it penetrate into your skin. And then you can just wash it off and get out. I do my castor oil packs in my sauna since I have that option. And then the other thing that some of my patients do is they just keep the castor oil by their bed. And when they go to bed, they pour a little castor oil in their hand, rub it into their belly, put on an old t-shirt, maybe throw on a heating pad while they read a book for 20 minutes, turn off the light, go to sleep, get up in the morning and take a shower and wash it off. So try to think about it as just a wonderful supportive thing that you can do as often as possible. All right. And so we have warming socks treatment. So remember when we're talking about hydrotherapy, we're talking about either bringing blood to an area or flushing blood away based on heat and cold water. So the warming socks treatment is just a wonderful treatment. I'll go into detail about what we're doing here, but you would want to do warming socks treatment at the first sign of getting sick. So you have a little scratchy throat, or you just start to feel under the weather, pop this out right away. It's going to nip things in the bud. You want to make sure you do it at least 3 nights in a row. That's been proven in scientific research to increase your white blood cell count. Those are your immune cells, your immune fighting cells. You can do it more than 3 nights in a row. In fact, if you get something serious, you might want to do it every night until you're well past feeling sick. Warming socks are really great for kids. Kids respond really well to warming socks. So if you have kids at home, first sign that they have a little sniffly runny nose, or a little, they're tugging at their ear, like they might have some ear congestion, just get those warming socks on those kids. Really works well. So I'll describe what the treatment is, and then I'll tell you how it's working and what it's doing. So you're going to do this at night before bed. You don't have to, but that's the easiest way. You're going to get your feet nice and warm first. You don't want to start with chilled feet. You want to make sure your feet are toasty warm. I usually sit on the side of my tub, put some hot water in my bathtub. But if you have a foot bath, you can soak in a foot bath, or you can just your whole body can be warm. You can take a bath or a shower. You want to make sure you're nice and toasty warm. And while your feet are in the warm water, you're going to have some thin cotton socks soaking in cold water. I don't have cold water over here, but you're going to have them just soaking in cold water. Some people go crazy and put ice in there. Tap water's fine. It doesn't have to be freezing cold. And then real close by, you're going to have a pair of dry wool or acrylic socks. You don't want anything that has any sort of cotton in it. It has to be either 100% wool or with some acrylic. You're going to take your warm, hot feet out of the warm water. That's a great time to put some oils on the bottom of your feet, On Guard, thyme, eucalyptus, or whatever you're using. And then you're going to take your wet socks and you're going to wring them out so that they're not dripping at all. And you're going to put them on your warm feet. Everybody, whenever I talk about this, they're like, oh, that sounds so awful. It's not bad. Trust me. It's very, very briefly feels cold, but your feet are nice and warm, so you don't really notice it. And then as soon as you put your cold, wet socks on your feet, you're going to put your dry wool socks over top, and then you're going to go climb in bed. Make sure that all the wet part are tucked inside so there's no wet stuff sticking out. And then you're going to go to bed and you pull up the covers and go to sleep. Most of the time, people sleep really, really well when they're doing warming socks treatment. And in the morning, your socks will be dry. So what's happening is, you remember when we warm our feet up, the blood goes to the area. And then when we have cold, the blood flushes away. But what's happening here is that your feet have the cold socks continually. So it's not like it's not like you're putting your feet in a bucket of cold water. It's a short cold that goes all night. So what's happening, your body is switching between constricting and dilating, and your circulation is pumping from all the way through your body, but from your head down to your feet and back again. Surface circulation and deep circulation. So what we find is white blood cell count goes up. All that blood gets pumped through our lymph systems, where our lymph nodes are patrolling for pathogens to fight. If we have any sort of congestion in our head, that gets cleared and pulled out. Our circulation increases. People who have insomnia find that they usually sleep really well with the warming socks treatment, even if they're sick. Their feet are warm. That sometimes in and of itself can help with sleep, right? Just having warm feet. And then you can also use it for headaches. If you tend to have headaches, try warming socks at night. All right, I think that's warming socks in a nutshell. And then the idea with a warming t-shirt is it's basically the same idea, except this is what you would move to. So with warming socks, you would do it as soon as you started to feel the slightest tickle in your throat, and every night until you were better. If you ended up taking a pretty bad turn for the worse and everything settles in your chest and you're finding that you're coughing all night and you're not able to sleep because of the cough, or it's just really deep in your lungs, you're going to move to the warming t-shirt. And this is the basically the same idea as warming socks, only it's moving all the blood and lymph right through your chest and your lung area. You're going to get nice and warm. You want to make sure that you're not chilled at all. So take a nice long hot shower or bath. Your t-shirt is going to be soaking in cold water. You're going to get out of the bath, wring it out, put on the cold t-shirt. It's a little bit harder than the socks. And then you're going to put on your wool sweater and get in bed. A little bit harder than the socks, but not as hard as going to the hospital. Let me just remind you, this is a very, very powerful treatment. It really works to move everything out, move that congestion out, and you will sleep really well. We all know how powerful the Symphony of the Cells treatment is. And what I'd like to suggest is one way to like boost it even more is after you've done the whole symphony, however many oils you're doing, whether you're doing back to back or just one, try layering hot towels over the back, and that drives the oils in. And, you know, you could do several rounds of hot towels. So you're getting the towels hot. You're doing this for a loved one. You can't really do this on yourself. It's too hard to do on yourself. But if you have a loved one who's sick or if somebody's taking care of you, you can do several rounds of hot towels until the oils are nice and deep and your circulation is moving. And then you take one layer of like a hand towel size, and you're going to get it cold and wet and wring it out, and you're going to put that over top. So the hot towels maybe 5 minutes, and then the cold towel for about 10 minutes. And what you find is same thing. The body heats up, and then the cold towel comes, and then it keeps circulating the blood and lymph. So what we find is that the nervous system really calms down during that cold towel. People just zonk out during the cold towel. It's very relaxing. So it's helping your body circulate those oils, getting more out of them, and then also really soothing and calming to the nervous system as well. All right, those are my suggestions for you guys. And here's how you can stay in touch with me if you want. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Rose.
Yeah.
I do have some questions from people if you're up for that.
You betcha.
Okay, one question is, how important is it that it's a flannel cloth? Are there alternatives if someone doesn't have flannel? Like, could it be an old sock or a terry cloth?
Yeah, there certain fabrics are gonna wick the oil away from your skin. So you want something that's natural, I would say. But yeah, it doesn't have to be flannel, but as long as it's cotton and as long as it feels like it's gonna hold the oil on your skin.
Okay, great. And then could you tell us a few of your favorite oils for kidneys?
Ooh, kidneys or adrenals?
the question was kidneys.
Well, juniper comes to mind. Cypress comes to mind. Those are lemon is good, flushing things. And then black spruce keeps popping up in the back of my head. I know that's
Diane said black spruce too. Okay, great. And when you're doing the sock treatment, what are your favorite oils to use with that?
Well, it depends on if you're doing it for your immune system or if you're doing it for, insomnia or chronic headaches or something like that. But, On Guard is my go-to. I've been using a lot of thyme these days. It's just been calling to me for the lungs, but really, yeah, any of those. Oregano would be good. You can use oregano on your feet without too much, you don't have to use too much carrier oil because it's your feet. Eucalyptus would be great. Black spruce would be great there too.
Okay, wonderful. We have one person on the phone that is allergic to cotton. So could she use acrylic socks in the warming socks, or what would she do if she's allergic to?
That's a good question. So the cotton socks that are the wet ones, so you want the dry ones to help not hold the moisture there, but the cotton ones you want to be able to hold moisture in.
Hemp or bamboo, would that be okay?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Something like that. Silk. You're getting lots of recommendations in the chat for the person who has the allergy.
Perfect. Yeah,
okay.
Natural, but that's something that's going to hold the moisture.
Okay, great. With the shirt, the magic shirt warming, what oils do you use with that one?
Oh gosh, so you would want to use your tree oils for your lungs. Thyme is great for your lungs too, but think about all your Siberian fir, frankincense is wonderful, cypress again, eucalyptus, Douglas fir, probably forgetting some. Those would be black spruce again, would be great. What did we, Ravensara, laurel, all those good. Probably forgetting some. Help me out here.
Lime, cardamom, maybe. Anything for the respiratory system?
Oh yeah, cardamom.
I like the lime, cardamom, black spruce blend. I think that would be
delicious.
Yummy. Experiment, friends. There's almost no wrong answer when it comes to the oils.
Yeah, and it's not a bad idea to use a little carrier oil on your chest because it's going to just help hold it there, and then the hydrotherapy is going to help your system circulate it.
Do you think the warming socks would help plantar fasciitis?
Sure, absolutely. Anytime you have an itis, you have inflammation. So we're bringing new blood cells to the area and carrying away waste. You could also put some castor oil there too, and that would help. Do a little combination. Do your hot feet, castor oil and an essential oil, maybe some deep blue or something, and then put your wet socks on top.
This is a castor oil testimony from myself. It's magic stuff. When I gave birth to my daughter Emma, I tore a little bit in my perineum and got some pretty intense scar tissue. And I did castor oil massages. Every day I just put the castor oil in my shower and I would just remember to do a little massage of the scar tissue. I don't think it took more than 10 days before it broke up that scar tissue. So castor oil is magical. So I'd imagine the castor oil packs are going to help with scar tissue in your uterus. And
Erin, I have a castor oil story too that
please.
Since we're talking about female issues and castor oil, so many years ago, I had a cyst appear on my right ovary that I had to have surgery for, and it was pretty hellacious. And maybe a year later, another cyst appeared, and I was at a very high risk for surgery again. And I just said, no way, I can't go through that again. So I did castor oil packs every single night, and I use geranium and cypress as one combination, and then I use Zendicrine. So I just kind of alternated between them, and I actually was able to shrink the size of the cyst, and it took me out of risk of surgery. So I think the combination of the castor oil and the essential oils, and then of course the DDR, the supplements, and doing all the things, I was actually able to reverse that. So that was pretty powerful and exciting. So yay for castor oil.
Yeah, that's very, very powerful.
So good.
I just remembered a little story when my my oldest son was in college for the first time, his freshman year, and he has never been that great at staying in touch. But it was his first year at college, and you know, moms worry. And anyway, I went there. We went for a while without hearing from him, and finally he called, and he said, "Oh, well, I've been sick," and I was like, why didn't you call? Like, I'm a doctor, I can help you, you know? And it turned out that he was living in the dorms, and he didn't have a bathtub or any, you know, but he, as a freshman in college, took his styrofoam cooler down to the shower and filled it with hot water so that he could warm his feet and do warming socks on his own without being told by his mom. And at that point, I was like, okay, I guess he'll be okay without me. He knows what to do.
Proud healer mom moment. My not proud healer mom moment is my 2-year-old yesterday when we're pulling out a splinter, said, I want to go to the doctor. And I said, I'm Dr. Mom. And she said, I want to go to the real doctor. Okay, so one last question and then we'll close up. Is there a brand of castor oil you recommend? Is there any concerns with purity, quality?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. You want to find something that's organic and in glass, preferably. But once it's pretty stable, like it lasts a long time. So don't worry about it going rancid too fast. Hopefully you'll be using it frequently enough that you'll use it up.
So find something in glass. Otherwise, you're pretty good with most of the brands. All right. Well, everyone would love to see your contact slide once again. If you could share that.
Sure. And I think my PowerPoint can be shared to the page too.
Great. And we will put all of this up on the website as well. Okay. Well, thank you so much again, Dr. Rose. That was very informative. I know that everybody probably feels a little more empowered to have some tricks up their sleeves if anybody gets it in their household and if it gets into their chest. So we appreciate you.
Thank you.
This is just a reminder to everyone that this PowerPoint and the notes and references that we spoke to, the book recommendations, they'll be up on the website within 24 hours. So hellovisionary.life or essentialwellness.life. We will also be back here next Wednesday at 12 p.m. And we will also be here again the following Friday at 4 p.m. That's Pacific time. Again, if you're new to doTERRA and you haven't come to an introductory class yet, we'd love to invite you to our Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, Oils Made Simple with Dr. Josie on Tuesday. So please come to that. All the information is on hellovisionary.life. And last but not least, we have some big fun announcements from doTERRA. Every once in a while, doTERRA does this sale. It's called the BOGO sale. BOGO stands for buy one, get one free. We haven't had one in quite a while, and we were wondering if we were ever going to get a BOGO sale again. Well, BOGOs are coming this Monday, and it's perfect timing because what BOGOs allow you to do is stock up on needed essential oils for an incredible price. And they're doing something different this year. Usually there's one BOGO every day, Monday through Friday, and that's a buy one, get one free. So you end up buying 5 oils and you get 5 oils for free. But every day you have to order the BOGO and then they ship that to you. So it's a lot of extra shipping. It's wasteful to the environment, and it can be wasteful to your pocketbook as well. So what they did this year is they created a BOGO box. And what happens is on Monday, you can choose to buy all 5 BOGOs for the whole week. And they're going to give you not only 5 for free, but they're going to give you 7 for free. So 2 of those oils, the other people who don't buy the box, they won't get. So we want to make sure you know that. The BOGO box is going to sell out fast. So you're going to want to set your alarm for early Monday morning, get your BOGO box. So you get all those oils. It's something like you spend $200 on oils and you're getting $265 worth of oils. It's an incredible deal. Talk to the person who invited you to this call, because each of us essential oil educators, we often have our own special BOGO groups where we give away extra prizes and we do extra education. And I want to make sure you get connected with that. Then if you are a doTERRA wellness advocate, if you're an essential oil educator on the Visionary Leaders team, tune in tonight around 6 p.m. Pacific time. And our expert, master of BOGO sales, Tiffin Krager Bryant, will be doing a short mastermind to make sure you are ready to make the most out of the BOGO sales when it comes to your business. So we appreciate spending all of this time with you. We love connecting as a community and learning together. Please stay happy and healthy and safe, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.